What is a kaleidoscope mind? It happens to all of us, at least it happens to me. We find ourselves super tired and trying to fall asleep. When we close our eyes, our mind just seems to ping pong all over the place, hitting on everything imaginable, subject and worry. We blame it on all kinds of factors: too much coffee or caffeine, that action movie we just couldn't stop watching before bedtime, work issues we're not able to put out of our mind, or my personal favorite, a full moon. Sometimes it isn't any of those things, it just happens. In an effort to gain control of our ping-ponging mind, we do all manner of things. Count sheep, count backwards. Then we try a sleep aid or a glass of milk. Yuck! And that absolutely has no effect. Our mind has other ideas, and it does pretty much what it darn well pleases. Like an unattractive kaleidoscope, our mind will tumble around to whatever it chooses to land on, thus providing a vision full of images that are distracting, disturbing, or of a frustrating nature. And we are wide awake. When we're finally able to fall asleep, we wake up the next morning not feeling rested and certainly not ready to face another day. Don't you just hate that when it happens? I believe this whole buzzy, kaleidoscopy brain thing goes a lot deeper than what we find ourselves blaming it on. I think it's because we aren't able to give ourselves the gift of a quiet mind. Think about it. When we find ourselves in a quiet place, or there is silence or a pause in the conversation, we immediately try to fill it up with something. We turn on the TV at home, the radio in the car, pick up our smartphones and start looking at whatever we do and surf the net, all in search of something to do or something to say. So when we're ready for bed, our brains are on overload and we get into this ping-pong kaleidoscope effect. I wonder, is it because we just don't know what to do with these quiet moments? Is it because we have a compulsion to fill every waking minute with some kind of activity or perceived worthwhile value? It has occurred to me that we are simply not comfortable with a quiet or silent anything, including our mind. Okay, so where am I heading with this? I walk every day for about an hour. In that hour, I do not listen to my iPhone, my iPad, or have a conversation with anyone. I only have my GPS to track my walk, and I walk alone. I take different routes to mix it up a little to make it interesting. It takes about 15 minutes into the walk before my mind starts to slow and quiet. That's when I really start to see what's around me. When that happens, I marvel at what I'm able to see and where my mind takes me for the rest of my walk. It's as if my mind is uncaged and now free to wander. And wow, now my kaleidoscope mind shows me something amazing and beautiful. A peaceful feeling comes over me and I'm able to enjoy the moment and all the beauty that surrounds me. What I've learned may come as no surprise to you. When I'm able to quiet my mind for even just a minute, some of the most creative ideas and thinking will magically surface to my conscious mind. Clear, unmuddled thoughts just seem to come out of nowhere. The best part is, the peace it brings to me is magical. For a dyslexic like myself, a quiet, uncluttered mind is super important. So if that is the outcome, why is it we find ourselves choosing to avoid that quiet? Are we afraid of what we might see and find out about ourselves and others? I believe it's because we simply do not know how. Like so many things, it takes awareness and practice to gain that remarkable benefit of a quiet mind. So when you're out there trying to find your way now and into the future, no matter what you're doing, be it work or everyday life, you need to find a way to find that quiet place. Get comfortable with it and see what happens. You will be amazed.